Hello, beautiful people, tribe of many colors. Thank you, thank you, thank you for being here. The message today is about us needing to be in joy. It's important to have joy be the thing that guides and protects you as we go through these next couple of challenges, because joy is the most important thing you have. Okay, the most important thing you have is joy, because anything that causes you to be off balance or angry or upset or anything can't come into being until your joy is gone. Right? Anybody that upsets you, pisses you off, any situation that takes you out of being in a joyful, happy place, you understand that joy has to break down first before any of those other negative emotions come in. So your ability to be joyful is the most important thing that you can work on right now. And for all of us, what brings us joy is different. I like to paint, I like to dance, I sing. I think I'm a pretty good singer, especially if I'm by myself. But I joke around. I'm playful. My dogs, for as much as they get on my nerves sometimes, I love playing with them and seeing them in a joyful state, because it makes me happy. So in order for you to kind of have this shield of protection around you from the kind of heavy, dense energies, you have to spend time cultivating the things that bring you joy. And that's different for all of us. The best way to key in to what it is for you is to go back to your childhood memories and think about what it was that you enjoyed doing the most as a kid. Because that's your pathway, that's your door to kind of explode into this new creative part of yourself. We have to tap back into that inner child. All our creativity is there. That's when we were the most creative, because there wasn't any heavy programming that took place yet that kind of took us out of the belief that we can create anything, right? So as a kid, you believe everything's possible. That's why, people usually tell their kids stories about Santa Claus and the Tooth Fairy and things like that, because as a kid, everything's possible to you. So when you hear a good story or you imagine these great characters, in your mind, you create that possibility. As we get a little older and we get into the adulting phase, sometimes we can disconnect because now we feel like we have to grow up. But growing up and being more responsible doesn't mean you leave your inner child behind, right? Because that's when you get into approaching life now from a very rigid experience, right? And life is not much fun, especially if you're one of those people right now, you're not really enjoying life. You can't find joy in your day. Everything feels like it's a bit of a struggle to get up and move about. That's the key times to tap into that inner child and let that joy come forward into this moment. Your inner child is not left behind you somewhere. That beautiful, positive, joyful, laughing energy has to come forward into these moments so that it can express itself through this adult version of you, right? And come forward with all that playfulness, all that beauty, all of that open mind and possibility again. And that's how we take this moment in time and just catapult that forward into something beautiful, that inner child has to show up for us. So we have to create the space within ourselves for that inner child to come forward and be present again, right? So if you enjoy coloring, get a coloring book. You know, whatever it is you love to do as a kid, find a way to engage with that now, because that's going to be a very important key, you know, coming up for you. A message for myself. As always, these are messages for me, and I share them with the collective because, you know, our lives in many ways, they mirror each other. And even if this is not a message that you need now, it may be a message that is beneficial later, you know, or maybe it reminds you of something that you mentioned to someone else, and in that way we just kind of are always connecting as souls. We're never disconnected. So the more we open up and try to experience each other, once we give one another a little bit of time and intentional attention, right? We connect as souls. And in that connecting, it would be amazing if what we connected with was love and joy and patience and compassion and understanding and non-judgment. And all of those things reside in the inner child. You know, that's why it was, or it is for most of us, so easy as kids to just make friends, especially when you see two kids playing who don't hold any judgments about each other. Conversation's easy, play is easy. You know, the connection between those two souls is it's just natural. And at some point, as we get to being a little older, we forget how to just easily make those connections because the inner child was fearless. You know, that's why parents sometimes they have to put so many boundaries about where you go, who you talk to, what you do, because as we chase those possibilities, we're fearless with it, right? But we can still do that now. We can still be fearless. We can still believe it's all possible. We can still chase those opportunities. And we can still connect as souls. And we can still make friends and be playful with each other. Right? Because that's a beautiful way to exist. In a childhood state of innocence where the connection is just natural, right? And there's no harm, and there's no judgment, and there's no not showing up authentically, right? Kids don't, the only time kids pretend is when they agree to pretend, right? So you're gonna play a game and you're like, okay, I'm gonna be the bad guy, you be the cop, or, you know, I'm gonna be the astronaut and you're my, you know, co-pilot or whatever. They agree to play characters, but they still know who they are to each other. And if today we're going to play characters, the soul we're connecting with still needs to know who we are. In that way, we have to show up authentically. Right? We don't don the character and then say, this is me. You make the soul connection first. And then if you want to play a character, it's both people in agreement, or whoever it is you're engaging with. It's an agreement at that point. But you always show up your authentic self. And the most authentic we've ever been is in our first years of being on this earth. We're looking through the eyes of a child and everything is possible. So that beautiful part of us has to come through now to help us create this wonderful, amazing paradigm, this new way of existing, right? All the cells have to come back together and now express through love and understanding. And as we continue to heal and work on ourselves as individuals, it's easier to do that every day, right? And then the most important things my guides are telling me right now is take advantage of the opportunities that are coming up. Everything right now, every experience in any form that it takes, with your family, at school, you know, wherever you are, whoever you're engaging with, every single engagement with another soul is an opportunity to understand the self. And it's an opportunity to implement or, I don't want to say work on. That, you know, I don't really think you're really working on, but for the sake of conversation, those parts of ourselves that we are trying to improve, whatever that means for you. Those opportunities are coming up rapidly and more and more and more with every being we engage with. So take advantage of that opportunity to practice your patience, to practice your love, to practice your non-judgment, to practice your forgiveness, right? This is the moment to kind of really gain those points, right? It's because my guides are saying it'll come, the ability to do that now will make it easier to do in the future. There won't be this big gap where you feel like, okay, I accomplished something. Now I feel like I can't do it, or I can't connect with that energy anymore. And then a cycle, you know, comes around, and then now you feel it again. So there's almost like these gaps, right, in between what we see as accomplishments. And my guide is saying, if you take advantage of working on yourself now in every moment, those gaps become shorter, right? And shorter. And you're no longer having to cross this long bridge to get to your next kind of a big leap within yourself. The gaps are going to become so small that eventually it won't even feel like a leap anymore. It'll just feel like this kind of natural process that you go through. And every moment is just going to feel like the moment that you got it together. Like you got this, and you're going to believe you have this. And you're going to know what you need to do, and you're going to know where you need to be, who you need to talk to, how long you need to spend in a situation. Your ability to just process becomes easier and easier and easier as you bring in that loving, beautiful energy of the inner child. Everything just kind of speeds up for us. But we can't move ahead without the inner child coming. Right? So that's a key. That's a big key with the inner child showing up for us right now. So I hope that you're able to have a lot in the bag, right? Have a lot of things that you turn to for your joy. Don't just have that one thing, because sometimes we're like, okay, you know, if I get off work or when I need some time to myself, I'm going to go for a walk. But that day is the day you can't go for a walk. Make sure you have something else. You know, watch your favorite movie, read your favorite book, eat your favorite food, listen to your favorite music, take a bath. That is so, so important right now, to really care for the body, to help it release energies and old emotions and old feelings that they need a path to clear, right? So soaking that body in some Epsom salts and aromatherapy, and get the candles. It's like it's time to bring in that sensual, easy, rainy day hot chocolate, you know, vibe, that coziness that brings in that comfort, right? Make sure we find time to get cozy. If you have to make that time, you have to make that time, because all your bodies need attention. The physical body, the emotional body, the mental body, the spiritual body, all the bodies need love and tenderness and gentleness. And you don't have to wait for anyone to care for that for you. You're fully capable of nurturing and loving on yourself. And it's so important to make time to do that. It's so important right now. And bring forward that playful kid, wear colors with a purpose, right? Put the colors on your body, in the areas of the chakras that you need to feel connected to, right? So choose your underwear, choose your bra, choose your shirts, your shorts, your socks, whatever. Choose a color that you're like, okay, I feel like I want to experience more of the throat chakra. What necklace are you going to wear? And that you could wear shorter and really get it at the throat chakra. You could, wear something a little longer and let it sit over the heart. Just be purposeful and playful and light in whatever you choose. Because it's important now to really just have a lot available so that you can get into that routine of joy a little bit easier and just watch everything just catapult forward. I'm telling you. I sometimes I feel like I have to I often try too hard to talk about the leaps and bounds that I've made within myself. And my guys are always telling me, just show up. If you're making progress, if you are advancing, if you are going deeper within self, your message will evolve. And people sense that, people feel that, and you don't have to do anything. Just be yourself, do the work, and when you show up, you're going to be changed. More often, we don't see ourselves growing, right? But other people can see it. And even without needing the validation, it will be validated to you first, because you're going to see how quickly you change your response to things that used to trigger you before. You're going to feel how easy it is to go through moments without being triggered, because your joy is fully present and it doesn't go through this, up and down depleting state. It's going to become a state in which you find yourself living in as if it has always been a natural part of you, because it has. And you won't need to reinforce it as much, because then it becomes this kind of self-sustaining thing. The more you're able to feed into the energy and build that space of joy around yourself, the more you contribute to your own field of joy, the more the field gives back to you. So you now become this self-sustaining nebula. This self-sustaining nebula, galaxies, cell, whatever, big ball of energy, right? You now become that consistently for yourself, and you don't need it from any external sources. You walk with that light within you, and once you put in the work to do that, you'll never give anyone the power to take it from you, because no one can take anything from you. You have to give up your power or your sovereignty and allow someone to do that, right? And if you choose to maintain your sovereignty and to maintain the responsibility of being joyful within yourself, then no one can take that from you. No one. No one has the ability to take your joy from you. Make the choices in all of these moments and experiences to find the thing that's going to keep you joyful within it. right? And even if you find yourself knocked out of that joyful space because of trauma or emergencies or heated conversations or you know whatever arises that can sometimes knock us off of that. Now that's when you go into your bag and you just pull out all the things that you know work for you. Right? Sometimes you need to do them all at once. You need to take the bath, listen to the music, watch the movie, eat the ice cream. You got to do it all. If that's what you got to do, you got to do it. But keep that joy going. Keep that light burning and just love on yourself as much as you can. Be light in your spirit, be light in your heart, and just be playful. Bring that inner child back and just share your beautiful expression in any way that feels right to you. But just keep doing that. Keep doing that. Keep doing that. And watch how quickly, right, all of life changes for you. I know it will. I know it will. Whew. All right. That feels like all of it. Guys, this is a message I truly take to heart because I'm a big kid. You know, I'm always laughing. I'm always smiling. Like, me and my mom, we go to the lake and, you know, we drink our favorite teas and we just laugh. We laugh, we laugh, we laugh. I laugh with my family. I laugh with my dogs. I'm always finding a reason to smile because I can see sometimes how hard it is for people to just maintain joy. And you know, we don't want to live in a sad world, and I don't want to contribute to the world being a sad place. So I find my joy wherever I can. But I love sharing these messages, and I hope, you know, it at least reminded you of something you need to do for yourself. Okay? I love you guys. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you for being here. Have a beautiful rest of the day and take care of yourselves. Love you guys. Bye.